What's up, YouTube? So I saw in the news that the Parents Television Council they've turned their aim on to Adult Swim. They feel the cartoons on Adult Swim are inappropriate for their children. You know, it's kind of true. It is. If only there was some way to identify that it's not for children. Oh wait, the name of it is Adult Swim. If you're an adult, yeah, they're fine. Hell, if you're even a teenager, they're fine. The things that are on Adult Swim, they have some really bad shows. They also have some really good shows. And I'm not just talking about appropriateness or inappropriateness. I'm talking about quality. But as far as what's appropriate and what's not, the Parents Television Council they're up in arms now because Adult Swim used to start at 9. As of March 31st, I believe it is, they're going to be starting it at 8. Now, these shows, granted, they're not really appropriate for preteens, 5-year-olds, whatever. They're not appropriate for young children. There are shows that are appropriate for young children. We all know this. And just as a secret to everybody, that little box that occurs right up here at the top during a television show, says like TVMA, TV13. That's not a mysterious secret code. That's so you can look at it and go, oh, well, hell, that's not appropriate for my kid. And you turn off the thing. You turn off the TV. You turn off the laptop. Everything has parental control on it. In this day and age, everything has it. All you have to do is turn it on. So, with companies, they're a company. Just like all of these, or most of these political activists, they're corporations. PETA is a corporation. PTC is a corporation. What they're doing is they're trying to get Adult Swim off the air. The reason they want this, they feel it's not appropriate for their non-adult children. If that's what you want, if you don't want your kids to see this, go ahead and take this suggestion. Be a parent. Know what they're watching and lay down the law. You can't watch that. You can watch that. Now, I'm not saying that just because it's TVMA, your kids should not watch it. That is up to you to make that decision. You know your kids. I don't know your kids. The Parents Television Council, they don't know your kids. They are just this dime a dozen reactionary group that all they want to do is push their values onto you. I'm not trying to push my values onto anybody. All I'm saying is that if you object to what your kids are watching, don't let them watch it. If you don't like the violence in a TV show, don't let your kids watch it. If you don't like gangster rap because it objectifies women, don't let your kids watch it. Every radio has 2 knobs or 2 buttons. One to turn the channel, the other to turn it off. If you can't find anything that is appropriate, turn it off. Listen to a CD. Listen to your MP3 player. But the issue, and this isn't like me going, oh, well, I don't want to have to deal with the inconvenience of, having to deal with this. The point is, I am of age in every country in the world to watch, drink, smoke, whatever the hell I want if it's legal in that country. Why the hell am I going to have to limit, why do I have to be the one who's told, well, it's not appropriate for children, so you, who is legally, absolutely able to watch this, now you can't watch it because, well, some people, they didn't want it to be available to their kids. That's ridiculous. Now you are stepping on other people's rights. I have the right to watch Adult Swim as it is, if I choose, which some of the shows I really like. I like watching it. Robot Chicken. That was a good show. It's kind of ridiculous, but it was funny. I enjoyed it. The anime that they brought out, because they brought out a lot of anime. Adult Swim is one of the reasons. Adult Swim and Toonami are 2 of the reasons why anime is such a big thing in this country. It is part of a cultural movement, and now this Parents Television Council is trying to step on it for no reason other than because they don't want to be troubled to watch their children and determine what their children are watching. A good example of this is recently I read on Facebook, friends of mine were talking about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How people of my generation, when we watched Ninja Turtles, when we watched it, it was one show. It was a great show. We all loved it. The new version is not appropriate in the same way to a lot of people. There are a lot more risque things in it that a lot of people need to know about. It is more violent. It's darker. There's a lot of factors. It is not the show that we all grew up with. But these parents, they have watched it and they've gone, well, this is not appropriate. My kids can't watch this anymore. And that is absolutely fine. That is you determining what your children can and can't watch, which is part of your obligation as a parent. Now, I don't want to come off overly preachy on this one because it's television programming. It's not really a serious thing. It's just, I feel this is ridiculous that there are groups of people out there who are objecting to a television show or a block of television programming because it's not appropriate for the demographic that it was not intended for at all. Adult Swim is named Adult Swim for that reason. Adult Swim, not the TV show. Adult Swim, when you go to a pool, is when all the kids get out of the water because adults want to swim and they don't want to deal with the kids. That's Adult Swim. Kids aren't allowed. So why are we objecting to Adult Swim when it's not intended for your children? If your children are watching a show that's not intended for them, if your kids are watching porn, that's not the porn industry's fault. That's your fault as a parent. If you don't want them to see something, don't let them watch it. It's that simple. But because we have this group of people, and it's not just the Parents Television Council, it's groups. There are groups of groups that they get up in arms over every little thing. And they try to control what you watch, what you read, what you listen to. And this isn't just me being selfish and saying, well, I want to have access to everything. I don't want to have to deal with the difficulty. Thought is based on words. If you are limited in what you can watch, what you can read, what you can listen to, they are limiting your thought. This also goes back to one of my previous videos about net neutrality. If they limit what you have access to, and in this case, granted, it's just cartoons, but we have to draw the line somewhere. If you limit what you have access to, you limit your thought process. Is that really what you want to do? Do you want to limit your thought process? Or do you want to be able to be a fully thinking, fully mature adult? Now, take this video for example. Have I used any profanity? No. However, is this video appropriate for your children? It's not a matter of what's said. It's a matter of the content. And if you don't want your kids watching this, don't play it for them.